Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
This is Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio with Emily Dean and Alan Cochrane. You can text the show on 81215, follow the show on Twitter at Frank on the Radio, or you can email the show via the Absolute Radio website.
You do that without any of the paper now?
I don't need it. I've just got it. It's in there. It's great. Very marvellous to be able to... I used to be able to do the Wreck of the Deutschland by Gerard Manley Hopkins, which is a long poem. Oh. It's all gone now.
Yeah. Frank, we've already heard from the outside world.
Oh, good.
This morning. I don't know who this is from. Let's just call them Gary.
Okay.
He says...
Have you just imposed that now? Has he not even got a number?
Well, funnily enough, whilst I was saying I don't know who this is from, I suddenly saw he's called Gary.
Oh,
there you go.
I thought you'd just pick that as a random.
No, if I was going to pick it at random, I wouldn't pick Gary.
Okay.
Hello, Frank and gang, whoever it may be this week. Oh, rather rude. Ever felt special, Al?
No.
Me too. What a TV week it's been for you, Frank, this week.
Go on.
Hopefully that woman from some time ago will have been watching.
If Eddie Izzard gets emails that start like that.
You know, the one that said, welcome back to TV.
Oh, yes.
I don't remember that. Did a woman say that?
Yeah, there was a woman who said that to me. I did a TV show and she said, welcome back to TV, like I hadn't been on for 20 years. I know what she means, but...
Anyway, Gary continues, must get to the point, as I'm always being told I waffle. I've seen you twice.
Rosé potato waffle.
Waffly
I wonder if Gary's waffly versatile.
I've seen you twice on the Gogglebox tonight.
Oh, yes.
Of Gogglebox. It's like having our Keith in the room.
Well, it is the name of a popular TV show now, I suppose.
Not
it's
much
sort
longer.
of come back.
That ship sailed on that.
I don't think so. They get big figures. Some of them have got big figures. Noticed. True.
I'm bored of Gogglebox. And on both occasions, iPlayer and Children in Need, neither time were you wearing a suit or jacket of any type. Not even a pyjama jacket,
No.
which I agree is exactly what they're called. Does this mean... I think it's very unfair to suggest you waffle, Gary. Does this mean you are becoming a bit street and down with the kids? Oh, Frank, no praise for this, not on your Nelly. Kind regards.
Of course, I lost the second half of that because I was thinking there ought to be a show by the Scout movement called Togglebox. In which they talk about TV shows from the view of being a scout.
Yeah.
But no, I did listen. Well, I did... yes, I do a thing... I've just started doing this thing on iPlayer where I interview people and they recommend TV shows. Currently available. But...
I loved it.
It sort of is quite an intimate thing, so a suit doesn't seem...
Intimate? Is this a spoiler alert to say that you're in bed with Lee Mack?
I am in bed with Lee Mack.
Well, that's ticked off at least one of my fantasies.
Well, I'm on a bed with Lee Mack, and if I had a suit on, it would all be a bit naked civil servant. Do you know what I mean? It'd be like somebody just met on the tube and took back to a hotel. So I'm casual on that. The thing on Children in Need...
You've got socks on in that, Frank, and I think that was so cute. Frank in socks on a bed, hello.
Frank in socks.
Frank in socks, it was terrifying, that Dr. Frank in socks. Yeah. And the Children in Need thing, I was mid-rehearsal, darling, for another show.
Oh.
So I was a very hooded top. And I had to read some stuff out. But I did...
I didn't know you'd done Pudsey.
Yes, yes, what a night that was.
Bit of tabloid gossip for the start.
Exactly. Yes, we played Frank Sinatra songs and lay in each other's arms.
On a...
Pudsey calls him old Two Eyes.
On a...
Very fun joke.
On a wider point, have you been suiting it up a bit less now that you're not on tour in your Man in a Suit show? Is it like Dress Down Friday the year after that show?
I'll tell you what it is. I've just done a series of. This is very much My TV Life.
Can I say it's all gone a bit Des O'Connor show? Well, it's funny you should mention that, Al, because I've just done a series.
No, I just did a series. I just did a series of Room 101, and where I wear a suit and tie.
Ah, right.
And I quite like the moment just before, as you get to that point in the evening when you're about to, where you take off your shabby clothes and there's a song in Pagliacci, I think, that goes, on with the motley, which is the motley being like the clown outfit. So I love the moment when you take off your rags and put on your finery in front of the mirror with all the little bulbs around the edge.
You know what I love?
What?
I love that this is so Des O'Connor, you've now burst into song. Having no doubt previously said I couldn't possibly sing.
Oh, Des O'Connor. I did that show a few times.
Did you? How was it?
Worked with them all, Annie.
It's,
Worked with them all.
Pudsey.
It was fabulous. As you say, were questions that would start like, so do you ever have any trouble with your neighbours? Well, funnily enough, there's a guy next door. Yeah, I love all that.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
We've already established you've been everywhere. You've been with Pudsey and Frank in socks on the bed.
Yes.
Des O'Connor.
Yeah.
He gets around, doesn't he?
And I also saw him being Frank, on the One Show. Oh, I was proud.
Well, I feel bad doing my CV, but that's the first time I've ever hosted it. It's quite an interesting experience because, you got your earpiece in, which I don't normally work with.
Oh, yeah.
So you're there trying to be all relaxed and, chatty to the guests, and in your ear you've got stuff like, okay, drop the Mandarin, we're not going to have time for that, and stuff like that.
Oh, really?
So, there's this voice in your head telling you what to do.
You'd never have known. You're very calm.
I don't know how non-Catholics cope with it. Obviously, I have it most of the time anyway. The Mandarin,
I thought you were a natural.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
And I love Alex.
Yeah, she's fantastic.
Oh, I love that.
So I learnt 7 Mandarin words to speak to Lang Lang. Lang Lang is that my phone? Lang Lang the classical pianist.
Yes. So good they named him twice.
Yeah,
as Jonathan once said.
And he does a thing called Mandarin Monday on YouTube.
Does he?
Just another Mandarin yeah, when he eats an orange on camera. No, he teaches
an easy peeler.
He does an easy peeler. I did an easy peeler once. I forget what her name was now. WPC Evans. And anyway, they don't call them peelers anymore, really.
No, I was going to say that's
a 19th century,
1950s,
19th century ribaldry.
Yeah.
But anyway, so he teaches you a different Mandarin word every week. So I learned to load, so I could talk to Lang Lang. And then I got in the ear. We'd have to drop the Mandarin, so that's gone.
Oh, no.
But if there are any people...
Don't drop the Mandarin.
If there's any Mandarin speakers listening, can I just say, Ni hao ma, which means hello.
Lovely.
It is lovely, isn't it?
Well, I say lovely. It's pretty meaningless to me, but it's nice to...
Well, that's why I explained it.
Yeah, thanks for that.
So, yes.
It's difficult, though, because it's tonal, isn't it, Mandarin?
It is. That's the nice thing about it, is that, you could... I can't speak Mandarin, but I could hum it to you.
Oh, really?
It's got the ha and all that.
It's very trendy to learn it at the moment. All the youth are learning it.
Right.
It's a bit like, yeah.
Should we have a Mandarin text in today?
Would you like to know what thank you is in Mandarin?
Yes.
Shishini.
You've got a lovely tone to you.
Thanks. If there's any Mandarin speakers, it probably sounds like garbage, but I kind of like at least playing at it a little bit.
If there's any Mandarin speakers, hope you enjoyed the peelers joke.
Yes. Well, it's something for everybody on this show. By the way,
What about your plant, Frank, on the One Show? Oh, that was embarrassing.
Yes, I took. My son grew a bean from bean.
Frank brought. It was a bit like when they bring things in show and tell at school. He was so proud of his plant because Monty Don was on. He produced this plant. It was the sorriest looking thing. I felt a bit embarrassed. Why did you bring that into a nice studio?
They said, have you got any... it's the One Show. They said, have you got any pot plants at home that need a bit of help?
Bit of help? That was brown.
Because one of the things on the One Show is combining the two guests in a way. So there's a study that says music is good for plants. And, of course, Monty Don's on, who's the big gardener. So So that was it. So I brought in Bozzie's bean, and then somebody dropped it backstage. Can I just say that? One of the people who I told to take absolute care of it, which made my son cry when I got home. The one show broke my son's heart. Oh, that's just text from a Mrs. Childs.
Frank
Skinner
on Absolute Radio.
Absolute Radio.
Last week, if you recall, we spoke of Jonathan Ross's Halloween party.
You two spoke of
I meant we.
All right.
Well, we can't help it that you weren't there.
I meant we too. I don't handle the invites.
It's fine. I was busy.
They're a great band, though, the Invites. I'd love to handle them, but they've got pretty good management.
I don't handle them either, contrary to popular belief. Yeah. Well, that's a lie, I sort of do.
And if you remember, I had this memory of being snobbed by Absolute Radio's Matt Berry.
Yeah, it's one of the lower level showbiz gossip stories you've told on the show, I think.
Yes. Well, the weird thing about it was I honestly, genuinely didn't know if I'd dreamt it or if it had happened. First of all, Jonathan Ross's Halloween party is, as you can imagine, a fairly dreamlike event, isn't it? The way it's lit and everyone's dressed
for you,
stuff.
Maybe.
Well, it is for me.
No, it is. It is for all of us. It's amazing.
It's kind of surreal.
Yeah.
And so I came in here, and I thought, oh, that's interesting, because I think I have dreamt the Matt Berry snob. And it's good because it shows my inner insecurities and we can pull that apart.
We should say, Frank, you couldn't establish whether you thought you talked to him and he hadn't said anything back or something?
I didn't even think I honestly thought I was on the side if I dreamt it. I wasn't certain. And I didn't even... So I wasn't even sure if he was there. But when I started talking about it on air, and then Emily said, oh, yeah, he was there. And I thought, oh, it wasn't a dream, was it? So what I'm just doing now is saying Matt Berry snobbed me, and I'd like to make it publicly known.
Yeah.
However, I got an email from Matt Berry.
You
this
did
week.
not.
I did.
You had incoming from Berry?
Yes, and you know what? It was blank.
Oh.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't.
What did he say? Firstly, how did he get your address? It wasn't me.
Well, he actually tweeted David Baddiel and asked for my email, and
can I just ask? Did he email you all in caps like "Dear Frank"?
What did he say in the email?
So actually, I have to say, full credit to Matt Berry. It's a very, very nice email indeed, and I hadn't dreamt it. But he hadn't actually snobbed me. He was actually he was minding Vic Reeves' children, and one of them had just he couldn't see where one of them was, and that can unnerve you when you are left in control of someone's children and then lose one.
Yeah.
So he was slightly, and he said actually he did look for me after to try and then couldn't find me. So it was a very nice email.
How did he sign off? Yours sincerely, all best. 2 kisses.
I can't remember how he signed off. I can have a look. But
Absolute Radio.
The thing is, I love Matt Berry. I love his stuff. One of my favourite... In fact, someone asked me recently, what's your favourite sitcom of all time? And I said Garth Marenghi's Dark Place, which is... Do you remember that?
Of course I do.
Fantastic. Anyway, it was very nice of him, and I apologise for any problems. Matt Berry, turns out, is a very nice man. So
it's lovely that David Baddiel's been peacemaker between
the
you two.
in-between.
Yes,
the go-between. Now, the in-between, that was after that gig I did in Wigan in 1994. That's what I called that night.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
I tell you what else I did this week. I did a show called Bring the Noise. Do you know it?
Don't know any of it. I think my wife has said that
My wife? I said to my wife.
I think she saw a trailer and said something along the lines of it not floating her boat, but maybe it's worth a full watch.
Well, I like it.
How dare you be so honest?
What?
It was
that's what we did.
Incredibly enjoyable to do.
Was it?
Really, it was a real laugh.
Glad you had a nice night.
Well,
Are you allowed to say?
Yes, I can say. I can say who's in it. I don't think I should talk about the content too much. It hasn't gone out yet.
Well, also, you talked about Little Else this morning, about all the shows you've done.
It's a game show centred around yin-yu, which is music. In Mandarin.
Oh, is that your Mandarin again?
Yeah, got me Mandarin out.
People say it's hard to learn, but you seem to have mastered it in about 5 minutes.
They should look at Lang Lang's Mandarin Mondays.
Maybe maybe it's the pressure of hosting the one show really helped you with the accelerated learning thing.
Yeah,
perhaps
maybe that
everybody
is.
That's trying to learn Mandarin.
Lang Lang's Mandarin
Is that
Mondays.
my phone?
Lang Lang's Mandarin Monday sounds like
Can you get it for me?
sounds like a Matt Berry show.
It does actually. It does.
Sorry, as you were.
So I was. So it's like a game show based on popular music.
Right.
Oh yeah.
And so I was on Nicole Scherzinger's team.
Oh yeah.
So
she's a hottie, isn't she?
yes, and the other team is captained by Tiny Temper.
I thought you were going to say Captain Sensible.
No, it's
a strange booking.
Oh God, I forgot about him. Yes. Yeah. No, so that's it basically.
Right.
And there are many funny guests, Catherine Ryan and Joel Dommett and Anne Marie, who not only can sing but is twice world karate champion. What about that for a combo?
Who? Marie.
You people make me sick. Google her.
Marie. Just
Anne Marie.
Anne Marie.
Oh, Rosemary. Anyway, this is not what I'm talking about. So there was
Karate champion.
So we're together all day. Of course, that's why he's tuned in, because it's the Marshalls.
Oh, he loves the Marshalls.
He loves the Marshalls.
When have you got your karate lesson, darling?
I haven't got a karate lesson.
Okay.
I'm going to get
I was
you.
just interested.
I'm going to get you a copy of one of my favourite Elvis Presley photographs. It's him fighting in a karate tournament in shades.
Oh.
So anyway, it was really such an enjoyable day, because when in rehearsal we had to sing and dance and stuff. So it was like, it was.
Did you do singing?
Did I sing?
Did you?
Did he ever?
Yes. I can't say what though.
No, of course.
But it was there was a real team spirit. I feel I probably should tell you this bit after. Because there's a sign just arrived at my side that says adverts. And when you're on commercial radio, there are certain things that strike fear into your heart, and it's being late on the adverts is one of them.
This is
Frank Skinner, Absolute Radio.
So I think it's fair to say that on Bring the Noise, I was the senior representative.
Lovely.
Oh, yeah.
What did you wear? Did you wear trendy clothes?
I wore a suit.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, Thingy's been on it, Martin Kemp, so I'm not the...
Right.
I don't know if he's older than me or not.
I thought you were going to say Clunesy had an appearance.
No, maybe Series 8.
Yeah.
But I don't know if he'd like it. But anyway, I went for it. So you do a lot of dancing and singing together, which is not easy with my Blumenthal back.
Oh, no, of course, yeah.
But
I will be seeing Blumenthal tonight.
Will you?
Well, I don't know if he'll be there. I'm dining in his restaurant, so what would you like me to say to him?
Well, tell him he's ruined my life.
Okay. I will do. I look forward to that, thanks.
Okay. It's a message you've probably had to pass on to various people after the years.
Yeah, not the first time.
Yeah, it means when I dance in a slightly haughty fashion. I've got a straight back to my head slightly thrown back. I look like I'm dancing like I'm a member of Marie Antoinette's court dancing.
Oh, yeah.
Compared to the others. But there was a bit where Nicole Scherzinger, we'd just done a thing and it had gone well, and she went, yeah, chest bumps.
No, she didn't.
And I said, I noticed. I thought she was just celebrating. No, she said...
You have to take it, Sid James, don't you?
No, but listen...
come on.
But listen, she says, I'd never heard of the concept of chest bumps and didn't know what it meant. So she ran at me...
Hi, peas.
She ran at me bust first.
She didn't flatten you, did she?
Well, I thought it was a hug, so I grabbed her. So I sort of literally caught her on the rebound. She went, oh. And it was just the name. And then I realised, of course, then I saw her do it with Joel Dom, and I thought, oh, that's what you're supposed to do. You just bounce off each other. And I'd sort of I felt such a fool.
Oh, felt such a fool, my eye. You knew exactly what you were doing.
I didn't. I'd never heard of the term chest bumps before.
She's got a very impressive physique.
Well, she does a lot of yoga.
Does she?
She does make me... You know those bodies that make you feel slightly tired looking at them?
I didn't look. Not at my age. So she was extremely...
No, you just grabbed her.
Extremely friendly and supportive.
Good.
Yes. So, she fanned me at one point.
She what?
She fanned me.
Is this a...
It's very hot. It's very hot in the studio. And she has a sort of an ornate...
Oh, I thought that was a command to turn the aircon down.
No, she has a sort of... an ornate sort of Spanish lace fan, which she uses to cool herself.
Sorry to
I
hear
like
that.
the fact you say she has, as if she always has this on.
Well, I mean, I don't know if she got it out just for me.
It's a bit senorita.
Part
Lovely.
of her outfit.
Yes, I felt like a Mexican
Did it
senorita.
match the rest of her outfit, or was it a sort of...
I couldn't see past it once
That's a
she'd
bit
opened
personal,
it.
Alan.
Once it was completely splayed, I couldn't see her anymore.
right.
But I actually lay back, and she fanned me with this elaborate fan, and I thought, is this a bit camp of me? I looked across. Tiny Temper had got a similar fan, and he was doing it himself. I thought, this is like... It's like those cowboy films, you know, when the beautiful ladies...
Amazing.
Oh, those cowboy films with Tiny Temper in them. Yeah.
But so practical. I'd never really thought of all the... you know how often in this studio it's really hot? I've never thought of, you know...
Of bringing
A fan
Nicole
is a great
Scherzinger
idea.
in to fan
Yes,
you.
I've taken fans into hotel rooms many times. But I've never...
Hate that period in your life.
I'm thinking I might get a
fan.
You could have different patterns on them and stuff, you know.
Yeah. You could have like a smiley face on it for when you're doing your...
Maybe
your
at the
head.
football you could have one with your team's badge.
Oh, yeah.
Not that one often needs it at the football. The Hawthorns, West Bromwich Albion's home ground, is the highest ground above sea level in the country.
Good fact.
It's cold. It's properly cold.
Thanks for that.
The M62 is the highest motorway in Britain.
I think
Text your
This
facts
is
into
the best
8,
bit
12,
we've ever done on the show.
This is
Frank Skinner, Absolute Radio.
I'll tell you what I have noticed. I think we've established I've done, and I don't say this to brag, but I've done several different television shows this week, and I've realised
You're
something.
everywhere, love.
That when I'm in my dressing room, I've realised how much I judge people by their door knock.
Oh,
yeah.
that's interesting.
If I get I already despise that person. I mean, through an inch and a half of wood, I still
Now,
I haven't even seen them at this point.
Tell me
but
why
I just
that is. It just feels a little bit enforced jollity. Is that what it is?
Deliberately jaunty.
Oh,
Colourful
yeah.
character.
Yes,
Self-style colourful character.
I just...
It's like a description of me that you just did there, isn't it? Jaunty.
No, but, you know, how would you knock if you knocked on someone's door?
Oh, let's all do our knockers.
Go on.
I'll do it.
Go on.
Frank.
Don't throw the name. I expect Mr. Skinner.
Oh, really?
They say Mr. Skinner 3 minutes, and I say yes.
Okay, let's do our knocks. You do. Have you
just
done
did
yours?
mine,
Okay,
yeah,
I'll do mine. Frank.
Oh,
Now,
God.
you both accompany it with my voice.
Okay, I won't do it with the voice.
No, I don't like that.
Oh, wow.
That's
God,
impatient.
That would
It
be
almost
startling.
implies that I'm neurotic or something.
Yeah, yeah.
No,
Frank, what's your knock?
I don't knock. I just walk in. That's what happens when you get to my level.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
This is Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio with Emily Dean and Alan Cochrane. Text the show, please, on 81215.
Beggy.
You
Yeah,
can
totally.
tweet us on @Frank on the radio, or you can go through. You can email us through the Absolute Radio website.
Very good. Very good.
I loved you buying time as you forgot it there.
And we
Yeah.
have had emails in, so I think we should perhaps take a trip to Email Corner. And
Well,
catch up with
hold on. What about this?
Me by gun, Mail Corner. Nice.
I love it.
It's great, that. I mean, this email, I'm afraid, Frank, is not going to dissuade people from thinking that this whole show is about your showbiz career.
Oh.
Hi, team. After hearing that Frank was struggling to hear what was being said at Steve Coogan's 50th birthday party...
At least it shows...
That was the week before Jonathan Ross's Halloween party.
Yes. But what a social butterfly you are.
I am. I think I'm more of a hornet.
Over the background music at the 50th birthday party this is, I thought I would pass on a wonderful tip someone gave me in one of those nightclubs.
I should say, shouldn't I? Sorry, just to make it... It's that thing when you're at a party or in a bar or wherever, what I was moaning about, where you're going, I went there, and you're having to shout, you can't hear what they're saying, you have to get... I could feel someone's spit going on the side of my face.
Yeah, that kind of thing, yeah.
So that was what I was moaning about.
I have to say, we did have it slightly at Jonathan Ross's Halloween party, but I dealt with that. You know what I did? I just went over and turned the music down myself.
Well, I did realise I was standing next to the speakers as well, which is... Yeah.
I wondered whether we were just old, Frank.
Yeah, John Burko was there.
Were they invited? Everyone gets invited.
Oh, reunited.
Odder. What was he called? Remember the Scottish one? Odder.
I loved him.
Yeah, anyway, sorry, so I'm just giving them a bit of background. Carry on,
text
Alan.
in. Who's your favourite speaker?
So
8, 12, 15.
You're at the Coogan's party and there's background music.
And it was a lovely party. I had a great time.
I thought I would pass on a wonderful tip someone gave me in one of those nightclub venues they used to have in the 90s. When struggling to hear what someone was saying to me, they pressed their finger over the little sticky out bits in front of my ear canal, effectively blocking it off, and then spoke closely to my ear. This blocked out all peripheral noise, and I could hear their voice perfectly over the music. Please try this, as it is magnificent, and unlike so many things in life, actually works as described and is marvellous. All the best, Adam. Well...
Oh, thanks, Adam.
I'll tell you what, I'm slightly worried about this as a technique. The touching of another person's ear, and then...
can we get this right as well? Because
there's a real danger of hot breath, don't you?
He's not...
Oh, I loathe hot breath.
But he's not talking about... I thought of... I thought he meant that you block the other ear, but you actually block the ear you're talking into, is that right?
Oh, I thought you blocked the other ear as well.
No, I think what's happening here, I've taken off one of my cans, radio lingo.
Revealing your
we can currently see Alan's ear.
Yeah. And he's just had a haircut. It's all gone a bit... What were those books you like, Frank? Suede Head?
Yeah.
Skinner Escapes.
I think it's this bit here is pushed back.
Oh, so that bit, there must be... If any of our listeners know what is the term for that sort of front flap that nearly covers your ear hole.
Any doctors listening?
Yes.
Yeah. And then you whisper into that bit. Do you want to give it a try?
So you close it down.
Try during
we
the
need
song.
some of that. Oh, we could do...
No.
I'll crank the music up during the song.
Yeah.
I think the men
you
should
could do it on me.
We'll do it. You don't want to do it on me because I've got that sort of pork scratching hair on my ears, which I think you'll find appalling.
It made me hungry.
What is the least offensive combination of doing it on each other?
I think the men should do it.
So do I.
So Frank, whisper in my ear.
I'll whisper in your ear, but I'll crank the music.
I'm still worried about the hot breath, though.
It's all right. We're going to do an experiment. It's a good song as well, so it's just right. Imagine we're in a really groovy
hot
club.
Birmingham breath as well.
Yeah, it's. I've brushed this morning, in case you're wondering. I didn't floss, but I brushed. Okay, so we'll be back in a minute and let you know how this experiment works out.
I feel ill.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
So, we tried it.
We've got ear news, haven't we?
Oh, sorry, I haven't turned...
turn us up!
I turned the wrong mic
You haven't turned us on!
He hadn't put his finger over the flap of the front of my ears.
No, I thought your finger was still in my ear then. I couldn't hear it.
Can I just say, it was somewhat erotic.
I don't
Basically,
think it was.
Alan was investigating Frank's tragus.
Yes, thank you. Can we just name check one of the people who's told us that it's called the tragus, that first
yes,
part?
thank you to 512. Thank you for all your work, 587. And 752 couldn't have done it without you.
752 has texted just the word tragus, Dr. Claire.
Oh, I like that.
I think she may have texted before, and I think we may have joked about her being the doctor of the show.
I thought that was the name of the speaker, tragus.
We could do with the show, Doctor, like this morning, and
Yeah.
Dr. Hillary.
We haven't got the budget for that. We can barely afford these people.
Dr. Claire could do it. Dr. Claire.
Dr. Claire is, she's probably had NHS experience.
If there's any wealthy doctors who have personal wealth and don't mind helping us out, fine.
Mm-hmm. I'd rather Dr. Claire did it at the goodness of her heart.
Yeah.
And she'll know if there's any goodness left in her heart through thorough examination. Okay, so Alan pressed my tragus. That's the headline in the... This is like Freddie Starr at my hamster. And you know what? It damn well worked.
It does work.
I thought you were going to say Alan pressed my tragus and I liked it.
Yeah.
I really cranked.
Love that, Katy Perry.
Yeah. So I cranked up the last track as loud as literally to the top of the fader.
Was it up there?
Yeah.
On 11.
I've put a lovely picture on my Twitter feed if you'd like to see this happen.
Yeah, and Alan did me and I did Alan.
Yep.
Oh, it was like being at public school.
And Sarah and I attempted it as well.
Oh, did you? Oh, I missed that.
Oh, sickos. Absolute sicko.
Coffee and cream.
But it works. It does work.
Yeah.
Does it work?
Honestly,
yeah.
Well, didn't you just tried it?
Yeah, but it didn't work for us.
Yeah, but you were probably tentative, and also you got very long nails, so you can't get deep into the tragus.
I don't think you get deep. It's just it's almost
I think
like
there's a tragus embargo over there at the moment.
Yeah.
Rich has tweeted us to say, I'm loving the new Here Comes the Science Bit feature on that Frank on the radio.
Yes.
It's started to become something of a regular for us, mate.
It's really... I'm brilliant. I'm brilliant. That's the
I'm brilliant.
That's the trailer sorted.
That is the most Freudian thing.
That's the underlying message of every show, but it's never put quite so bluntly.
No, I've never actually come straight out with it before.
He's just saying now. He's actually doing a show where he just says, I'm brilliant.
I don't know why I said that.
I do, because you think it.
It's nice to see
Obviously
3 hours.
I think it, but I don't know why I said it.
3 hours of radio condensed to 2 words. Finally.
I'd say it's a 30-year career condensed to it. I feel awful I said it, but you know what? I'm already over it.
Was that his name? George Thomas, first speaker to be heard on radio. That's not the one we mean.
Was it George Thomas?
990. No, I mean the more recent one.
I'm on about the Scottish one.
So am I.
Who, left in...
Text us, because we don't... You know we have a no Google policy, so...
Yeah, the one who...
Pre-Burko.
Yeah, pre-Burko, exactly.
We've had another bit of tragus news. The flappy bit.
Have we got time for this last bit of tragus? I think we have to go to the adverts.
Okay.
Charlie's giving me such a look.
Fine. Yep, fine.
I don't want her to twist my tragus. Isn't that Happy Mondays?
This is
Frank Skinner, Absolute Radio.
We were talking about if you want to talk to someone in a loud bar or club, etc., or at Steve Coogan's 50th birthday party, press their tragus, which is the front part of their ear, and speak into that seemingly closed ear, and it operates a bit like the Whispering Gallery in St Paul's Cathedral.
And
you can just hear the loud
there's a
voice.
how-to demonstration currently on my Twitter page of Alan and Frank, so very specialist interest there.
Young people in those loud places, don't they just direct message each other?
Oh, that would be a good
WhatsApp.
idea.
Do they? But I mean, I can imagine 2 people dancing and still doing that. It's so loud. And also people don't speak anymore, do they?
No, not as much.
Certainly not in our house.
What I like is Adam, who sent this in, I like his sort of air of pessimism. Please try this as it is magnificent and unlike so many things in life actually works. I like that. He's got a...
Can I recommend
a gloom but uplifting.
Yeah, you should try the ornate Spanish lace fan. Which I find works much better than you might imagine.
Is that your tip for life? That would be good. I mean,
what I would like to know, here's the question now, is the ear trumpet obsolete?
Oh.
It feels very Victorian.
But wouldn't that be good in a club?
Yes.
Because you'd speak directly
You can't take an ear trumpet to a club. It's
no, you can't, but you could probably get in with a cone of chips and then fashion the...
That, I don't know if you would get in with a cone of chips.
Good point, if they do.
What sort of clubs do you go to?
I imagine...
that. I
imagine a lot of the people that go clubbing have got dunce's hats left from school. They could take one of those.
and fashion an ear trumpet from their
let's just
outfit.
Do you
imagine.
think it's the
just
shallow end of the gene pool that go clubbing?
Just hear me out. Imagine if you...
I do.
If people... You know where people used to go to clubs? I don't know if they still do this, with whistles and stuff
Yeah.
like that around their neck.
Oh, and gloves. Didn't they like gloves?
White glove.
And anything...
Vicks Vapor Rub.
glow
We didn't go
sticks.
to clubs.
Yeah.
Clubs are for the people that didn't pay attention at school, I'm afraid.
I don't agree. But I
That's because you've got a pass.
I have no
I
opinion.
enjoyed clubbing
Okay.
while it lasted for me.
I like night clubbing, but I always thought if anyone who can't get drunk by 10:30 shouldn't even be in pubs. It's all about pacing.
Yeah.
So I picture, if you will, a tradition now where people go to clubs with a little ear trumpet on a lanyard.
On a lanyard.
Strange
And
Viking club.
Perhaps next
Maybe
to their pin's nez.
high vis ear trumpet, orange,
to a club. People
orange
try and
day glow. No, because it would become the thing, and then when you talk to I'm
Thing.
sure you could use it for some sort of illegal substance as well. It'd be multifarious. in its
High-vis
uses.
ear trumpet is going to become the thing.
Also,
apparently.
you know, if it's packed in there, you need to urinate. You could probably just put the ear trumpet in another dancer's pocket.
Good point.
Bob's your uncle.
I don't think this is a good idea. Mind you, I am the person who insisted on taking a chair to the Chemical Brothers gig because I refused to stand.
That's fabulous.
I did, took a
I
stool.
honestly think the high-vis ear trumpet could become a clubber's mainstay.
I love that pub.
Laugh about it, but remember, just look back to this when it happens.
This is
Frank Skinner, Absolute Radio.
So, that was a very good live tip, I must say, about the pressing the tragus.
It was, and we've got it from our readers, the audience, and I think they've probably got other little life tips. I think the young people call them life hacks, don't they? Hacks.
Yes, hacks.
They
That's
do,
right.
yeah.
Yeah.
How are you
Call it
spelling
like
that?
a little H-A-C-K-S.
Oh,
So
as
Lee, you
in-
didn't say H. I was worried.
I wouldn't say H.
Well, I could have gone one of
Goodness
two
me.
ways.
Come
that
on, you
one.
said Descartes.
You said tomato.
I've never heard life hacks.
Have you
before.
not?
Well, I mean,
I love
worry
a
that-
life hack.
See,
I
I
worry
love
that
the
this
way
one is-
Sarah, who's the assistant producer today,
Very trendy.
who's about what are you, 23, looks at me then like, oh, yes.
She gave
Yeah.
you what I'm calling a Werther's original look.
Yes, she did. But she's the sort of person, if I asked her to go to the paper shop, she'd look at me like a dog watching a card trick, as I think Bill Hicks once used as an example.
Why?
Because you're northern, congratulations. This bright light is electricity, don't be alarmed.
Oh, come.
That's a very old one, I know.
Come on.
So anyway,
What happened to this show?
Yeah, I worry that this life hack that we've been sent, this little life tip.
oh, you
from
know,
Adam
life hack.
is-
No, let's stick with
Yeah,
life
yeah.
hack. I
Let's
like
stick
it.
with hack because it
It's-
makes it sound trendy.
I think it's targeted at kind of people that go out to nightclubs and listen to loud music. Maybe even
Yeah.
a rock concert, you could hear that. But I've got one that I would genuinely like to share. This is a game changer for
Go
me.
on.
Dry sacks.
Yes, I hate that.
No, not talk about it. I travel a lot for luggage.
Alan Partridge.
I'm just going to reach over to my bag now.
Oh, this is a good bit.
Look, I'm getting it out. I take on the road with me
What on
little
earth is
bags, and I put in like
Can I
different
say-
things, like luggage dividers
That is
inside
the
your
most
own.
I'm gonna describe
unsexy
this
thing
now.
you've ever done.
You know when you go
I've got
past...
several of them for the photo. For
Hold
the,
on, I have to paint a word picture
Yeah,
for,
please
for our
do,
readers.
please do.
Alan is holding on what looks like he's torn down a windsock from a local airfield. It's bright yellow
this one is,
and plastic, and it has like a sturdy. It looks like it could be clipped on to something.
Well,
it
it
looks
can.
like it could operate as a windsock.
Do you
Yes.
know? Do you know what it looks like? It's the sort of thing you'd order from one of those supplements that you get with a Sunday magazine.
no.
For
You know that?
leakage.
You'd be more advised to get it from like a camping shop.
Okay.
And you can get them in different sizes. But
what do
here's,
they do? What do
here's
they
the
do?
little tip, Frank.
What's it for?
When you're going on the road, 4 or 5 nights, you pop in your pants and socks in here, roll
Get
it
out.
up, look, clip it, and then when you're away, as you've got dirty stuff, like maybe you go and exercise in the gym and so you've got sweaty stuff, you don't want that sweaty stuff contaminating your clean stuff that's in your bag. So you pop
the
it in
size
here.
of that wouldn't be enough for my fans.
Oh, goodness me, I wondered where that
Your
was
what?
going.
Sorry?
I really worried about that moment.
Yes.
Well, I've got different sizes. Look.
You've got several.
There's
You've got another one.
And another.
3 dry bags.
I've got 3 dry bags.
3 dry bags full.
I've been on the road. I've been on the road since Wednesday. But honestly, in terms
That's
of
a nice
dirty
job
washing,
for Mrs. Cockrell. When
no,
she
I'll
gets
do
home.
my own washing. I'm a modern man.
E-bike on Black Sheep.
and
have
she
you
won't-
any,
she won't
have
do
you
it for
any
me.
dirty clothes?
But honestly, if you don't want cross-contamination of clean stuff and dirty stuff, they're amazing. They're a game changer, and they're inexpensive.
You know,
Like
it's been
20
the great-
quid for
it's been
about
the-
4 or 5.
It's been the bane of my life. Bacteria passing from one clothing article to another by osmosis.
Has
and
it?
this has put a stop to it. I've never even heard of the dry bag.
Game
No, me
changer.
neither, because guess what?
Absolute game
I've heard of a dry
changer.
cleaner. Thank you. Good night. And the laundry.
That I'm impressed, Alan.
Thank you.
I
hate
love.
it.
You know what I love? I love a life hack.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
I think the texting about little hacks for life has taken off, but somebody has just texted earplugs. I think that might be.
That was nice of them.
I think that's a response. I think they're saying earplugs were a game changer for me. I mean, they haven't been very.
Do they mean in
forthcoming.
clubs?
Or maybe they mean in clubs. I just assumed that
If you're
they
wearing
meant for
earplugs in
good
clubs, you
sleep.
do wonder if you should be going to clubs.
Well, it's a bit embarrassing, isn't it?
We've also had a text from Jen from Aldershot saying, Frank, M and L, sorry to be a pain, but please can you clarify the tragus issue? Do you
Yes.
press down on the one you speak
Tragus.
into?
Tragus.
Tragus.
Tragus issue. I love that Dan Brown novel.
Yes, you press down the one that you're speaking into.
Yes.
So
Oh.
what happens is you close out most exterior sound, but because you're getting in close, you're sort of going around the back of the flap a bit. So you're sneaking in at the
VIP
at the
entrance.
tragal extremity, which I don't know if you've ever been to that pub, but it's
Yeah.
they do a lovely roast.
Is that in Vauxhall?
And
It is.
Paddy has texted, re the dry sacks. I spend a lot of time on the road and use something similar. It's called a carrier bag. Same idea, fraction of the price. Paddy. Well, I love a bargain as much as the next man, but the carrier bag
More.
is not as waterproof. These are waterproof once they're rolled and clipped, so you could take swimming gear.
Rolled and clipped. I love the BFG.
I've got a great life hack for
Excellent.
on the road, as you put it.
Let's hear
Love
it.
it.
Well, I don't know if this will be relevant to you, being
No,
male.
is it going to be about braziers?
Well, hang on a second. Hold your high horses. Are you familiar with hair straighteners? The
Yes.
straightening irons the ladies use?
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
So sometimes, you know my fear of creases on clothes. I can't abide creases. Creases. If I don't have an iron or I don't have time, I might have a call downstairs. Emily, we're leaving now. I'll get the straighteners out and go over the sleeves of the shirt with them. Lovely.
Oh, very good.
Use the straighteners as an iron.
Absolutely. I don't understand, but yes. It's
Why do you
brilliant.
not understand? You're using irons for the shirt or for a dress.
No,
It's not dissimilar to the old hang things up in the same room as you have your shower so that the steam knocks some of
Yeah,
the
I don't know
creases
if
out.
that
Doesn't work. I've tried it.
I've done that.
I've
as well.
tried that.
My other one is if you've got a scuff on the back of your heels, carry a little black Sharpie pen round with you, colour it in.
Oh, excellent.
Thank you.
That is a game
I
changer for me.
wonder if I've got a scuff on the back of my heel.
Depends how high they are.
idea. No idea if I've got a scuff on the back of my heels.
Okay, I'll tell you.
I have another one. Have more fruit in your bag than you think you really need to
In
eat.
your dry bag?
Just in your normal
Oh,
in,
okay.
in the food section of your luggage.
More fruit than you need to eat.
And
so
then-
that if you're attacked by a rhesus monkey,
Yeah, you can give it some fruit.
yeah.
But also you get the very specific joy of eating your luggage lighter.
Oh, yes, I like that generally.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Yeah.
I was on a tube last night and I ate an apple, then 2 bananas, and then had another apple. And when I picked my bag up to get off that train, it was
Was it
like
lighter?
it was like a hot air balloon that someone had thrown a sandbag off.
Yes.
It was it just lifted
Well,
up.
I mean, I once travelled with
Amazing.
an entire roasted ox. Can you imagine?
You know what's hurt my feelings, Alan? Is that I feel that Frank has been a bit more enthusiastic about your life hacks than mine.
Well,
I mean,
yours-
all you said, I had
They're
really
very
ingenious
pragmatic.
ones. All you said was eat fruit. And he said, oh, that's a great idea.
I know, but I don't
This is a
carry
good idea.
hair straighteners.
Yeah, I
I'll
noticed.
tell you what I have done on, I'd say 5, 6 occasions.
Go on.
I've gone on holiday, and the shoes I've taken with me have been ones that are really you know, you take a spare pair, so I'll take a lightweight pair, and then I'll take some shoes that are really on the way out. Really, they haven't got much left in. And then on the last day of the holiday, I'll just leave them at the hotel. Don't have to carry them back. I mean, you really feel like you've got one over on the world.
Bet you look lovely on that holiday as well. What a great tip.
There you go. I know you'll follow that one closely, Emily.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
One of my favourite other life hacks, which I hope you'll be a little bit more enthusiastic about, is the post-it note to clean the keyboard on the computer. What do you think of that?
Shut up.
Yes. So, you know, you get all those bits in between, and it's very hard to get in there. Slide a little post-it note through it, sticks, all the dirt and the grime sticks to the gluey surface of the post-it note. What do you think of that?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I don't know if it
like
works.
flossing.
He didn't say he liked it. He won't give me any praise for these life hacks. What is it?
No, because it's taken me somewhere else.
Oh.
And I'm not sure if this would... But one of my least favourite small things in life, because obviously there are big things one doesn't like, but small thing is post-haircut when you get that itchy round, and no matter how careful they are with their cloaking, there's always a bit gets down the back of them. Now I wonder if that would work on that, if you could get a yellow sticky, as I would like to call it, and just go over the neck and collar.
Sort of give yourself a scrim almost,
what?
Like scratch
Beg
it
your
down.
pardon?
Yeah,
Like,
a scrim. I've never heard that before, but yes.
you know a scrim, don't you? You know the
Is that the guy that does the Radio 1 breakfast show?
No, a scrim is like the rubber blade on a handle that one would use to clean windows.
Is that a scrim? I've never heard that before in my life. Get out of here.
But I'd come round yours with a lint roller.
I tell you what I discovered recently, and speaking to a TV chef, and I never knew this, but you know when you buy cling film in a roll in the box, well, every time I pull the cling film, the thing comes rolling out, and I end up standing there like I'm paper in the wall. There are two little things at the end of a cling film box that you press in.
Yeah.
Two little tiny panels, and you just press them in, and they pop like that, and then they hold the roll in.
Do you know I'm going to discuss that with Heston tonight?
Don't discuss it with him after what he did to me. You honestly going to see Heston tonight?
Yes.
I'll give you a note.
Frank Skinner
on Absolute Radio.
Absolute Radio.
This is Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio with Emily Dean and Alan Cochrane. You can text us on 81215. Follow us on Twitter at Frank on the radio, and you can email us directly through the Absolute Radio website. I've started doing that without the written thing, and it started so well, but the further I'm getting from the written evidence,
the more Werthers you're getting.
But it's good at my age. It's good to keep your brain active. It's better than getting one of those little computer things that one imagines Jamie Lee Curtis uses on flights.
Yes.
I'm going to get you one of those phones with the huge numbers on them.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, we've had some lovely texts and emails from our
we
readers.
Have. Lovely.
You were talking earlier about one of your life hacks, which was bring some revolting shoes on holiday.
Well, shoes that are on the way out. I never use the word revolting. You've added that.
Yeah, I wonder why. And then you spend the entire holiday looking awful, and then you just leave the shoes there.
Yes.
Well, it seems that one of our readers agrees with you. We've just had this in from 537. Hi, team. I used Frank's shoe tip on a holiday to Japan a few years ago.
Oh.
I climbed Mount Fuji in my old comfortable shoes and left them in the hotel room bin. A few days later, at home, a parcel arrived from Japan, the shoes cleaned and accompanied by a nice note from the hotel.
They're marvellous, aren't they? So efficient.
They are. We've also had... Hello, Frank.
Can I just tell you something? When I went to the World Cup in South Africa...
Yes.
World Cup?
The World Cup.
Yeah.
England, I felt, had played so badly that when I left my hotel room, I left 3 England scarves and 2 England T-shirts. I just left them in there. I thought I won't be needing those again.
Oh.
And absolutely
Did they
correct.
send them back?
No, did they, hell?
I kept trying to lose a ceremonial plate they gave me in Sri Lanka. I was with the ambassador, High Commissioner, I do apologise. And they just kept sending it back to me. They wouldn't let me leave without it.
It's so hard to offload the ceremonial plate. I find that. I've got one in my head.
Hello, Frank. My boyfriend saves his old, worn-out boxer shorts to take on holiday and bins them every day.
That's a brilliant idea.
025.
Lovely
I
for
think
his
that's fantastic.
girlfriend.
I'm guessing this is two people in a long-term relationship.
Yeah, you might be on the nail there.
No, that's a good idea. Next time I
think
go,
that's a
I'm
great
Is that a good idea? That's horrible.
Hey, no, that's a really good idea. I've been on the road
time I'm
since
away.
Wednesday. I could have considerably lighter luggage if I was dispensing pants every day, couldn't I?
Yeah, next time I go on holiday with my girlfriend, I'm taking Barry McGuigan.
Neil from Watford says, similar to Frank's shoes, I have holiday pants. He's put holiday pants in brackets.
Yes.
I think we know what that means.
No, I think that's really... It's a good way of getting rid of things, because you leave things lying around the house for age. I'm thinking maybe all the odd socks I've got. I don't know how it happens, but in my sock drawer, there's probably 30 odd socks.
Yeah.
And maybe I'll just wear those for a fortnight's holiday.
That's good.
And discard
I
them.
like to look the best I've ever looked on holiday.
My cleaner, I remember,
Mm.
was going to Ibiza for her holidays, and she had her
Paying her quite
nails.
well.
She had her nails done.
She's doing all right for herself,
Yeah,
isn't she?
I like to look after my staff, and
Not on Saturdays.
olive oil. Olive oil, I'd recommend. So she had her nails done before she went away. Maybe you're familiar with this. I'm sure our assistant producer is. But she had, so the first nail was yellow and the next one was orange. You know this? And then yellow and then orange. And I said, they're nice. She said, yes, sun and sand.
Oh, lovely,
nice,
Frank.
It is.
Sun and sand. Well, I never.
As I said earlier, I'm brilliant. So, anyway...
I tell you what I want to talk about this morning. He's one of my obsessions.
Oh, yes.
Shia LaBeouf.
Yes.
Are you familiar with the work of Shia?
Well, you know what? The only reason I know Shia LaBeouf is because... LaBeouf, is that how you say it? Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah.
Is that... We've mentioned him on this show before.
That's
I don't think
right.
I've ever seen him in anything.
I think he...
What's the biggest movie he's ever done?
Well, what's
good
interesting
Good question.
is what he did recently. He watched all his movies as part of a sort of art house experiment, back to back. There were 29 of them in total.
Oh, right,
29 of the critters. He watched them back to back.
He's not in Critters, is he?
He had a lot, probably.
How old is he that he's made 29 films?
29.
He's 29.
Yeah.
Do you know how he does it? It's one for every year of his
I
life.
don't know.
I think he was a child star, wasn't he?
Yes.
Is that right? I didn't
Well, he
know
was
that.
in Transformers when he was very young. But you
Oh.
see, the thing is, I realised I haven't seen... I thought, how many of these movies have I seen? One, which was Wall Street Money Never Sleeps, which I did genuinely fall asleep in towards the end.
Oh, that's odd.
Yeah. That's
Especially
the only
as
one
it's
I've-
called that.
Yeah, only one I've seen. Have you seen any of his films?
I think
I
I've
wouldn't
seen
know
him.
Shia LaBeouf if he walked in here now, I can honestly say.
Really?
Even if he walked in LaBeouf.
He
Would
wouldn't
you
be-
recognise
he
him in
wouldn't
the
be
street?
shy about it, would he? If he was in LaBeouf.
Certainly not. He couldn't get any shyer.
Very good.
Well, I recognise him more for his madcap, eccentric behaviour, because this is what he does.
yeah.
He's got previous, hasn't he, Al?
Yeah, I recognise him because I think he was in the papers a few years ago. Maybe we covered it on this show for scrapping in a New Cross pub that my mate lives round the corner from. So it was
Okay.
sort of one of those weird ones where I go, I know that pub. Oh,
I'm really warming to him.
yeah.
He chased a homeless man down the street after his McDonald's.
Or trying to get his
trying to get his
McDonald's.
McDonald's, yeah.
He's a
Because my
character.
first thought in that is, how did he get the McDonald's in the... I was once on New Street Station, and a homeless man, God bless him, came up to me and said, oh, can I have a bite of your burger? And I thought, how do I handle this? And
Is
it
this
was a
one of your bit of a git moments?
It was a real... this could be a life hack, because
Yeah.
I wanted to share with him. He was a homeless man, but I didn't want him to have a bite and it to feel heavier than when I handed it over. So what I did, I tore a piece off and gave it to him.
That is clever.
There you go, life hack number 17.
This is
Frank Skinner, Absolute Radio.
So, Shia.
Well, actually, we've had a text saying,
Oh.
Frank, you might have seen him in the film Constantine. He plays Keanu Reeves' young assistant. Hope that helps.
Is that about the Emperor Constantine? Have you seen it?
I don't think I have seen it.
Or is it about... It's not about Leary Constantine, the West Indian
Although I
cricketer.
have to say, he's Constantine isn't on this list. Maybe they didn't do bit parts. Perhaps he...
No.
Perhaps he just went for major roles.
He went for the main one.
So he sat in a cinema and he watched every film he's
he's done, and they showed his reactions. He laughed, he cried, he ate popcorn, he walked out at one point.
And how long does it take to watch every
3
show?
days.
Yeah.
Oh, straight through.
I think it's a chunk of time, yeah.
He wore a parka.
Oh, fair enough. Quadrophenia, was he in? I remember, it was the guy, famous American comic, you know that, Do You Believe There's a Man on the Moon? It's about him.
Oh, yeah, Andy Kaufman.
Andy Kaufman.
Very good.
Andy Kaufman did a gig once, and the audience turned up, and he read The Great Gatsby all the way through.
Yeah.
This story made me think,
Not the
though,
most bookable.
I think they should make Frank do that. Oh, I love that. Frank watching the Brits, hello.
Hey, isn't
Can you
that...
imagine
no.
seeing your reaction? And the best, Al, what if he watched fantasy football and All of Unplanned with David Baddiel?
Oh.
I don't know if they still exist. I think we had them burnt after. What about, I mean, imagine, just imagine, I think I've had 6 stand-up DVDs.
Okay.
I say DVDs, obviously a lot of them were on VHS. In fact, the first one I think was audio with a court artist illustrator. But imagine sitting through those. Could there be anything more excruciating? Because every gag that didn't get a good laugh would be like having a piece of glass stuck up in, I'll say, your eye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For you.
So when he's sitting there, I suppose because... I don't know, I'm presuming they're not comedy films, but if you're watching it, if it was comedy and you were watching them not laughing, you were there in the midst. But
that's why I'd enjoy it, if you don't mind me saying. And that's why I think
Meanie.
children in need, they should have done that. I don't want to see Gino D'Acampo in a sequin waistcoat. I want to see you having to watch all your oeuvre.
Okay, I'll do it.
Thank you. I paid $2 grand, FYI.
I went to a Laurel and Hardy all-dayer.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know you'd seen them live.
It was 8 hours of Laurel and Hardy movies. It was organised by the Laurel and Hardy fan club, which is called the Sons of the Desert. And...
I don't think it was organised by Harvey Goldsmith, to be honest.
Yeah, we got one of those party organisers from Knightsbridge. No, so I just went as a punter, and it was what was brilliant about it was that the guys, the organisers, they had to stop after a bit because they sat watching the films, and just before Laurel or Hardy said something, they said it. Yeah. So they were going with Laurel and Hardy through the dialogue, but just ahead of them. Oh. So, I mean, I am able to do this with a lot of the short films, because I've watched them over and over and over again.
A sort of Rocky Horror approach.
So there's a bit where, like, Oliver Hardy says that, didn't you have an uncle once? And he said, yeah, but he fell through a trap door and broke his neck. And he said, was he building a house? He said, no, they were hanging him. And so that's
like dark material.
Just as it's coming, just as they were saying it. So you'd hear, didn't you have an uncle? Just and they had to stop the thing and say, everyone was complaining about them, and they said they were really sorry. They were such nice guys. There were about 6 of them. And then we started again, and they started doing it again. They couldn't do it, and in the end, they had to leave. Shame. They couldn't watch their own all dayer because they just couldn't. They couldn't not do it. I wonder if Shia was doing any of that.
Transformers.
This is
Frank Skinner, Absolute Radio.
I understand that Shia was watching the films in reverse order, so he would have started watching them close to his actual age,
yes,
and then gone right back to the child version.
Oh, okay,
and
it's a bit Back to the Future.
What's impressive is that he responded, from what I could see, to the actual movies. Like, he was sobbing, he was laughing at the films. At no point, as far as I could tell, was he going, "Oh my God, I'm so old now, and look how young I look in the next one." Like,
but they all mean different things to him. You know, if I was watching my career and they showed Bring the Noise, and I'm going, oh, and I think I'm remembering the chest bump. You see, I'm thinking of a different thing.
Yeah.
Oh, Shia. He's a bit of an eccentric character.
Mm-hmm. I'll tell you what I did like about this whole idea is that people were queuing to get in. You couldn't go in until someone came out. Mm-hmm. And
it was like Yeezy's collection.
And it's like a bar I used to go to in Soho. But it's...
I got that.
What I like, it reminded me of when you don't have to go in at the beginning of the film.
Mm.
I may have told you before, when we used to go to the cinema as kids or teenagers, the films, there was no checking how long you stayed or stuff, so you didn't bother about the start time. You just turned up at any time, just joined the film halfway, and then you'd stay to watch the beginning of it up to where you'd seen it before.
Weirdos.
And then you'd... are you with me, Sarah? This is the youth on the... So you'd watch the last hour
Frank,
of E.T.
you don't need to speak louder to her, okay?
In fact, it's quite the
She
reverse.
needs to speak louder to you, darling.
I can't reach her tragus from here.
That's a relief.
So you'd watch the last hour of E.T. and then you'd go and watch the first 40 minutes. And mentally, you sort of cut and paste.
Mm.
You could say it's where cut and paste started.
Yeah.
Mental cut and paste, certainly.
Next week on How We Used to Live.
Yeah, next week on how we used to live. 12 dogs walking around the street unaccompanied.
Always carry a little pinch of salt in your pocket.
Yeah,
To
exactly.
throw at someone.
Yeah, if someone attacks you, that was the thing, wasn't it? Someone asked you for your bait, as my dad used to say.
I love the sound of your dad, the more I hear of him.
Because that's what it was. People be
What's his
carrying...
name, John?
He was,
Yeah.
John Francis.
Yeah.
But you'd be... his idea was if people going to work with their lunch, people used to stop and steal their lunch from them. I mean, this is a different time,
Wow.
isn't it? To be mugged for 3 sandwiches.
Yeah.
Oh.
I had another thing I wanted to say about Shia, but
Go
before
on.
I do that, we've had a message from the outside world saying it's called is it Tragus, by the way? It's called Tragus. This is Chris in Eastbourne. I remember a local DJ used to slightly press his Tragus in his own ear so he could hear us. P.S. I know the show's recorded, so I'm not sure why I'm writing in, lol.
Now that, to me, is a tactic to make sure you get read out.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Because
You're so
you think
right.
if I say that,
Epic
then they'll
fail.
read it out to prove they're not recorded. And we walk straight into that one.
Oh, no.
It makes me wonder, though, can I say off the back of that old folk singer thing of pressing in your tragus.
Maybe.
I wonder now what they're trying to get some sort of internal acoustic.
Shall I use the phrase, can I say off the back of that to Heston Blumenthal tonight?
Yes, I think you should.
Okay.
I'm not even... But he's genuinely hurt me. What about that?
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
Here's a story that is close to my heart, Frank, and I think may appeal to you on some level. The Pope has been in the news this week, saying that parents should turn off smartphones, computers and TVs at mealtimes and eat at the table with their kids for a better family life. And I don't know about you, but whenever I think about family life, the first guide I go to is the Pope, the head of the Catholic Church.
Certainly.
He knows a thing or two about it, doesn't he?
Well, what you getting at? Well, he grew up in a family, Al.
Let's not get ugly
I'm
here
only
this
teasing.
morning.
I'm only teasing.
I think the Pope is right.
I like this Pope. I
That's
think he's
my
a good egg.
ringtone.
Yeah.
It's just me saying that.
That or I'm brilliant.
No, I think the Pope is right. But I have to say, it's not something we do that much at home.
Oh, really?
And
No.
in fact, I read this in the paper yesterday.
I like this topic. It's gone a bit Eamon and Ruth on this morning.
No, but
It's not something we do, love.
My mother-in-law and my sister-in-law were around the house, and
Love
Cass
those
was there
women.
and stuff. And I said, I'll tell you what, why don't we just have lunch all together around the table with Buzz and stuff, which I wouldn't have said if I hadn't read this article.
And did you?
And we did, but I never said to them, "'Cause the Pope says," because I thought they might rebel.
No.
So
and was it nice?
I snuck in a bit of domestic Catholicism and no one knew. Nice. It was lovely.
It is nice.
Was it really?
Baking bread.
Obviously, watching the elderly eat is a strain, but I was prepared to
Sandy
pay.
tolerated that, didn't she?
Yes, she did, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do, and I do. I tell you what I worry about, when you're at airports or something like that, and you see...
Oh, in the lounge, I know what that's like. Oh.
Yeah, well, wherever, and the family is sitting together, and there's, mum, dad, blah, blah, and there's one boy at the end who's probably 13 or something, and he's just on a machine playing, and he's just not... He's like on his own in this world of, I don't know, whatever they play, Candy Crush.
A gadget.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what I yearn for. Do you remember, you ever watch any sci-fi films where people are at home watching the telly and suddenly the telly goes...
Yes.
And this alien face comes on and says, "Citizens of Earth, you are under..." If the parents could get one of those, so he's there and suddenly... Nathan! It's your parent! Come back! Just suddenly appeared on the
I
game
think that's
screen.
true.
Yeah.
You have to teach these things to engage, because they won't otherwise.
Agree. I won't let my kids have, like, screen time at the table, because I worry that the volume of the gadget will drown out my shouting that I like to do during each meal, and I don't think I should be superseded.
Well, I'm worried that he might miss the occasional one of my punchlines.
Oh, here we go. Let's get to the heart of the matter.
How different we are, it's just been illustrated.
The Pope did say, "This is not a family, this is a pensioner."
That's what...
What did he mean?
He meant the child was becoming isolated like a little pensioner.
It's a really funny thing to say, isn't it?
It's quite,
This is a pensioner.
This is not a family, this is a pensioner. That's the new M&S logo.
I have noticed that Boz has started buying beige slacks at the Daily Express.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
Yes.
So you like that, Popey?
Well, I like... I worry about that. I mean, one of the problems with this, I think, if we're going to encourage this communal meal, because he said that's the time when the family talks about their, what's worrying them, the good things and all that. I think maybe we should lift the embargo on talking with your mouth full.
Oh, no. No way. Absolutely.
You're a fan of that, are you?
But you consider
immovable point.
You consider mixed messages of saying, yes, all talk together at mealtime, but don't talk with your mouth full.
Yeah. I don't know. No, I can't negotiate on that. That's a non-negotiable one for me.
That's a real deal breaker for me as well.
Oh, disgusting.
Really? What about if we all dined with a small table tennis bat that we held in front of our mouth?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'd be fine with that.
Okay, that's
but then you'd be spraying. One side of it would be covered in bits of food from when you were telling an anecdote.
Yeah, but I'm thinking of something that was, covered in maybe Formica decorative laminate, so you could wipe it.
I didn't realise you thought it through quite this much.
Well, I hadn't, but it's still fermenting.
Sometimes, when we touch,
yes.
no, when we go for our post-show brunch, little insight into our lives there. I find we all sit around, the phones get whipped out.
Yeah.
I find that rather sad.
Me too.
I've got to say, Daisy, she's not here today, so let's lay into her. She
I like the spirit you're bringing there.
Is the serial offender. Mm-hmm. She, I find, is always... I'll say, what are you doing? I assume it's a work email. Oh, I'm looking at photos of Jermaine, her partner.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to see him in half an hour. Come on. Oh, we're entertainers. We're here. You've only got half an hour with us. Make the most.
And every now and again, everybody will have their phone out at the table except me.
Yeah.
And then I'll say, shall I get my phone out, guys?
I don't remember that. I just remember you getting your phone out.
No, I don't.
Remember you taking any high moral stance on it.
I take a high moral stance, and then I reluctantly get my phone out.
I love your moral stance. It's the slight bend in the left knee.
That's right, yeah.
I hate it when you go, well, I am Spartacus. You've never done that.
I have.
But I find that once one phone comes out, then all the
others will follow.
You think, it's the phone thing. Yeah. And sometimes, when you get a bit bored with conversation, you start showing people photos off your phone.
Mm-hmm. I think the Pope was in a funny mood.
Are you bored? When they get the photo. You think the Pope was in a funny mood?
Yeah,
Get out.
because he was talking about, the gadgets at dinner, and dinner is a time for families to communicate with each other, and there's something very bonding about dinner.
Does he mean supper?
No, I think he kept saying dinner, but I got the feeling from reading it that he might have just been hungry, and dropping hints to the people around him. Hey, a bit of dinner wouldn't go amiss. Maybe he was like a house guest.
I just need to know.
When you're not sure what time the people are eating.
I don't think he's a big eater.
Well, if he's saying dinner, though, please.
What?
Please let it be an evening meal he's referring to.
I called lunch dinner for the first 9/5 of my life. Yes, I got CSE grade 3.
Any maths fans?
I still occasionally lapse. And I've noticed that Boz, my son, occasionally says dinner of lunch, and he hasn't got that from me, so maybe it's a tribal root. Next.
Frank Skinner.
On Absolute Radio.
Absolute Radio.
Do you remember I had an idea for a restaurant called
Je suis,
which is like just sweets. I was thinking you could have, based on that Laurel and Hardy one, you could have Sons of the Dessert.
Oh, yeah, excellent.
Supposed to be a bit sexist.
Mm-hmm. We've had a text saying, "Hi Frank, Alan and M. Phones around the table. What you do is put all your phones face down in a pile on the table, and the first to check their phone pays the bill." From Phil.
That'd cure you, Al.
I'll tell you what, I'd never buy I'd never buy a meal
what
again.
I'd like to do is find out when Al's having his next meal out and make sure I call him.
Oh, I'd have a lot of missed calls if there was a round riding on it.
That's a strange missive. Dear Frank, Emily and Alan and the team, I've been listening to your show for the last year now and was just thinking to myself, what's the remit? Are you supposed to be informative and interesting? Love 854.
Why have you read that out?
Is that nice? Well, I didn't know whether that was a compliment.
It doesn't feel like a compliment.
Oh, is it not?
No,
she's ruined my day now.
Oh, Frank, I'm
slightly sour
sorry.
end to the show.
I genuinely thought it was a question.
Oh, actually, they've put anyway.
They put a kiss and they like the show.
Anyway, love the show.
Yeah,
so
love the show. That's what I
don't normally read
Why didn't you
praise,
read that bit out?
Well, I didn't see that bit initially.
We don't normally read praise, but on the emails that seem nasty up until the point that praise is, I think we can make an exclusion.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what. Stop! You're both siding against me, and I won't have it.
No, siding against these guys.
But you know that song, A Spoonful of Sugar Makes the Medicine Better? Don't hold back the spoonful of sugar.
Okay, given now that you've had the sugar, what do you make of that?
What is our remit? Well,
what is our remit?
Do we have a remit?
I think we're a public service, aren't we?
Okay, fine.
Today we've provided entertainment and life hacks.
I thought a remit was when you put your gloves back on.
Very good.
So,
I imagine the sales of dry sacks will go through the roof after this, won't they?
Yeah, you'll be like when Delia Smith used to say, "Oh, I like these saucepans," and then you couldn't get them the following week.
They sold out.
I'm a tastemaker.
It's a bit like when Frank mentioned the daddy saddle.
Exactly, yes.
You can't get one for love nor money.
So,
I'll give your love to Heston later, Frank.
Oh. I should... Actually, can you give him this X-ray? Thank you so much for listening this morning. And if the good Lord spares us and the creeks don't rise, we'll be back again this time next week. We love you all. And love, let's face it, is very, very important.
The Frank Skinner Show on Absolute Radio. Back Saturday morning from 8. Tune in live for the full Frank experience.
Absolute Radio.